I'm getting a face.
Next, we're going to take a look at the customizing class figure, Ratchet, and yeah, I understand. We all wanted a Combiner Wars Ratchet because we had Ironhide. We got Ironhide. That was great. And it is a little bit of a shame that all of the little rumors that we've been hearing and seeing this new head on Ratchet have been only to come to the fruition of this customizing class. However, I commend the Collectors Club because they put out 5 individual new decos for this. 5 ideas of what you can do for this. You had G1 comic book look, you had G1 cartoon look, you had a Shattered Glass look, you had G2 Ratchet, and then for fun, they tossed in medics from Rescue Bots, in case you're into that. And they all had their own respective sticker sets. You could do anything that you wanted with these. So, what I did with this Ratchet here, and this has a lot of like brain stuff, so follow with me if you will. What I did with this Ratchet here is I wanted to have something that was as close as possible to More Than Meets the Eye Ratchet. So I gave him the red head with the white visor up there, like he has. I gave him a large red diaper, and the red hands, and these parts around here on the shins. I did this cool thing where I took gold paint, and with just one really light coat, if you buy the unpainted figure and you want to do this yourself, this is a really cool thing you might want to try. Just one coat of gold paint, rather liquidy, because that'll allow it to seep into the crevices around the edges of these squares here and leave the center relatively plain. And then it gives this kind of illusion of the cyber glow that the More Than Meets the Eye characters all have. So that's neat. And I gave him these dark sections for his ribs, and I tried to kind of give him an idea of what his shoulders look like, with a little headlight detail under there and a little red up there. And then on the back you have your light bar and a little Autobot symbol, and you've got some stripes, and you have some what are those window things that let you see out the back bit when you're driving. Something that I really enjoyed about this year's customizing class figure has been that a lot of these apps have been stickers. I can already tell that some people are going to be upset about this because then it's got less to do with painting, but I think this is exactly my point. You can spend more time on how you want your Ratchet to look rather than having to concentrate with the details of getting all these crisp lines done, and which are really difficult to do. I mean, even as hard as you try, you'll have a hard time trying to get everything to match up. So the stickers, I think, were a brilliant idea, and they were great quality stickers as well. Like, they felt like the vinyl stickers that Repro Labels did for Knockout. These are really good quality stickers, and for the most part, maybe with exception to this sticker here because the windshield wiper is a little bit longer than the sticker permits, these are all cut remarkably well and directly to size. I'm impressed with the lengths that the club went through to produce these quality stickers. Now, my justifications for this Ratchet are, I would really like to have a More Than Meets the Eye Ratchet, and currently on my More Than Meets the Eye shelf, I only have the eye gear medical specialist, and that's like a Voyager size, and it looks like G1 cartoon Ratchet. There's not really going to be a whole lot of a cohesive look there with the rest of the More Than Meets the Eye cast. He's much too big and not really the right colors. So I thought whenever Hasbro did a Combiner Wars Ratchet, and now we know that this is going to be it, I was thinking that that would be a perfect stand-in for a More Than Meets the Eye Ratchet. But what if on Saturday Hasbro tells us, we have this new Ratchet that we're coming out with from More Than Meets the Eye, that's how we're going to style it. And then what am I going to do? Well, I kind of wanted to split the difference here and provide a kind of an amalgamation of several different things. So he has the red head, which can be a G1 comic book reference, right? And the shoulders I did in such a way where if you turn out the shoulders like this, You can see the detail in there. You can see the little gold thing there that makes this whole shoulder very more than meets the eye. But it's kind of hard to see there, and it's a little tucked away thing. And if you put the shoulder panels forward, like I usually like to do, you can totally hide that and ignore that, and you can just see this as Ratchet red shoulder detail and leave it at that. So if there is a more than meets the eye Ratchet that may be coming out sometime in the future, or there's a better stand-in from a third-party company, then this can also default to just a regular old G1 Ratchet. It's okay that it doesn't look exactly like Ratchet because as a companion piece to Ironhide over here, he doesn't look exactly like people expect Ironhide to look. And here's my justification for him. This Ironhide, to me, is not really the old grizzled Ironhide. Just like Orion Pax is not exactly Optimus Prime as we know him. This, to me, is like Orion Pax for Ironhide. He's younger, he's slimmer, he's got a younger face, and I think of him as Cadet Ironhide, like if he ever had his younger days, you know? So with Ratchet over here, instead of having the white extend all the way down to here and including this large box giving him more of a paunch kind of chest, you know what I mean? Like your dad. Instead, he has this black section up here that separates that whole pec region and leaves it much more toned looking. Keeps it all in the same region. Gives him more of a macho, more of a younger look. Kind of like animated Cybertronian Ratchet. So I have options with this where I can go with it, where I can display it, and that's the beauty of the customizing class. You can do whatever you want. There are no real limitations to what you can do. They have plenty more paints there than anything you may need to do the cookie cutter method. So you have free creative reign there. Also, there's a fun little Easter egg that they put into the sticker sheet. Check this out. Okay, just bear with me here. This is G1 head. Look at that, would you? That's so subtle, and it can turn. It's brilliant. It's just like that old really crappy G1 head, and then like you can take the arms down here and have his arms coming out of his waist. Look at this, would you? Homage. It's so brilliant. It's so cute because it can go unnoticed. I even had to ask what they were. I had to ask where they went on the sticker sheet because they weren't written down. And when I asked the guy who had all the sticker sheets, he said, "This is what that's for." And it's forgettable in the sense that, well, not in the sense that you forget about it, because you can completely forget that it's there. It's hidden within the back side of his torso spine thing, and whenever you would turn this into a leg, that's the side that's directly going to plug into a combiner leg. And that's also, if you were to plug it in as an arm, the first thing to go down. And it's so subtle. It's not garish. It's just genius. I can't say it enough. You can forget it if you want to. Brilliant. Also, as a neat little bonus for the customizing class, the club gave some really interesting things, the enigma of combination. Check this out. This is, if you've been keeping up with the Combiner Wars comics, you know what this is. This is a resin cast piece that was made specifically for this event. And I don't have with me here at the convention the Optimus Prime or Motormaster mold, but the idea here is that right in this space, you see those little notches, this can fit directly onto the chest piece of that combiner torso. And these 5mm pegs can be held, so it can be held just like the Matrix, and it has a 5mm peg right here on the back as well. It doesn't have any paintwork, but I mean, this was the customizing class, and you really, it's almost like begging you to customize it yourself. Seeing as they would only hand this out at the very end of the class, there wasn't an opportunity to paint these within the class, so everyone just got one of these. as is. So this was a lovely little add-on that if you didn't get into the customizing class, you wouldn't have gotten in on, you wouldn't have received. And that's one of the things that makes these classes so worth going to. Even if you just want to get the pre-assembled figure, you don't get things like the sticker sheets, you don't get things like the Enigma of Combination. It's a huge, important prop. This is fantastic. This, I think, is much like the Key to Vector Sigma set that came out years and years ago, and people have been trying to hunt down ever since. So this is definitely a special piece. Anyway, that's really all I have to say about that. Also, I was lucky enough to be extra nerdy today and wear my Ratchet's Repair shirt, and I felt really special with myself. Thank you very much. Now that we're done with Ratchet, we're gonna start to get to some of my actual favorite stuff, the stuff that I paid the money for. Alright,